And the super honest answer about this is paisa, basically.
7 years down the road आपने डिसीजन लिया कि इस तरह करना है, मैंने यूएस वगैरह नहीं जाना. Do you think you made a good call 7 years ago? How difficult or easy was it for you to get your first job after your masters?
I came in 2018. Those were good times in Germany. I would say things have changed since then. They gave me a budget of around like a million euros. Why am I even here? So let me explain. But also I came prepared of it. So I've worked on government projects as well, and all of like I've written publications, I've written researches on this. We have the money, we have the investor, and now we do not want this investor to run away, because this is a hard learned lesson that I learned, and I want to like everyone who's seeing this, because this can actually save people months of their time. So there are
Yes,
a couple of
please.
more things. 1 or 2 months ago, it was called Fiesta, and this was marketed by Dhruv Rathi.
हाय एवरीवन, आज की वीडियो बहुत स्पेशल है. एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिस पर अभी तक मैंने एक भी वीडियो नहीं बनाई, और इस टॉपिक पर मुझे सबसे ज्यादा रिक्वेस्ट आती हैं ऑन अ डेली बेसिस वाया लिंक्डइन, यूट्यूब कमेंट्स, डिस्कॉर्ड प्राइवेट मैसेजेस, ईमेल्स एटसेट्रा. और वो टॉपिक है लाइफ एंड करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन जर्मनी इन द एआई एरा. और आज की जो मेरी पॉडकास्ट स्टाइल वीडियो है उसमें हम एग्जैक्टली वो सारे टॉपिक्स कवर करेंगे जो लाइफ एंड करियर इन जर्मनी से रिलेटेड है. जर्मनी में मास्टर्स से लेकर जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एआई सिचुएशन, करंट मार्केट के हालात, इनफैक्ट हाउ टू इवन स्टार्ट योर ओन कंपनी. वी विल कवर ऑल ऑफ दिस टुडे इन डेप्थ. क्योंकि आज के सेशन में जो हमारी गेस्ट हैं हिरा सिद्दीकी, शी हैज डन इट ऑल हरसेल्फ. हिरा लास्ट 7 years से जर्मनी में है, एंड आफ्टर कंप्लीटिंग हर मास्टर्स फ्रॉम वन ऑफ द बेस्ट यूनिवर्सिटीज इन जर्मनी, शी गॉट अ जॉब एट वन ऑफ द टॉप कंपनीज इन द वर्ल्ड, एंड नाउ शी हैज हर ओन स्टार्टअप. आज का सेशन पैक्ड होगा विद वैल्यूएबल इन्फॉर्मेशन, स्पेशली उन लोगों के लिए जो जर्मनी या यूरोप आकर अपना करियर बनाना चाहते हैं. मैंने कोशिश की है कि आपके सारे कमेंट्स, क्वेश्चंस और कंसर्न्स जो हैं इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड वो आज की सेशन में कवर करूं. आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड फॉर टुडेज वीडियो, सो विदाउट फर्दर अडू लेट्स बिगिन. हाय हिरा, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम टुडे. आई नो दैट यू आर अ बिजी पर्सन. आपने आज वीकेंड पे टाइम निकाला फॉर द रिकॉर्डिंग. I know who you are and what you do, but a lot of people who are watching this won't know that. So please, आप थोड़ा सा अगर आप quick introduction दें. There are a lot of things that you do, so please keep it short.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Hira. I'm originally from Pakistan, but मैं Germany आई in 2018, so around 7 years ago. I came here for my master's degree, and I have been a technologist more or less my entire career. I have worked in decentralized technologies, Web3, AI, simple development, web development, like a lot of different things. And yeah, currently I'm also working as a software architect in Deutsche Telekom, and I also have a startup of my own, of which I'm a co-founder and acting as a CEO. So yeah, a lot of different things. I think we'll get to the nitty-gritty details of each of those little parts in this 40 to 50 minutes. So really excited about talking to all of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also very excited and looking forward to our call today. आपने एक चीज मिस कर दी हिरा, I don't know why. आप ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर या आर्किटेक्ट भी हैं, करेक्ट?
Yes. For the past like 4 or 5 years, मेरा जो सबसे ज्यादा मेजर काम रहा है वो decentralized ledger technologies, Web3 in areas में रहा है basically. So this is kind of like the field that I've been super active and involved in.
मेरा पर्सनल इंटरेस्ट से क्वेश्चन है कि जब ब्लॉकचेन की जब भी बात होती है तो आई थिंक द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड इज क्रिप्टो. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि बीइंग अ ब्लॉकचेन डेवलपर या बीइंग इन्वॉल्वड इन दिस फील्ड, आपको सारी निटी-ग्रिटी छोटी-मोटी डिटेल्स का पता है. डज दैट गिव यू एन एडवांटेज व्हेन इट कम्स टू क्रिप्टो या परचेजिंग, बाइंग या?
No, it doesn't. It really depends on what you're. So just like, AI is a big field. Similarly, Web3 is also a big field. And you can either be a trader and who's on the financial side, or you can be a technologist. So I would not call myself a trader at all. I of course buy and invest in crypto, but I just buy blue chips and then I just hold them for a really long time. So that's like my strategy, and it does not give me any advantage about what coin is gonna pump or not.
आपने मेंशन किया कि you came to Germany around 7 years ago. That's a long time.
Yes.
Okay, being a software developer who has good degree, who has a good experience in Pakistan, Germany of course it's not that it's an unpopular destination, लेकिन उसके साथ US भी है, UK है, Canada है, even Australia now is also becoming a popular destination for engineers from subcontinent. So what brought you to Germany?
I'm gonna give you the very, very super honest answer about this. And the super honest answer about this is paisa, basically. Because education is free in Germany, and my goal to come abroad was solely for education purposes. I was already doing pretty good in Pakistan. मैं job कर रही थी, मैं freelancing कर रही थी. I had like a whole portfolio going on there. But one thing that was again and again kind of like not letting me stay satisfied was that I felt like I'm not at the top of my field. I'm not the best, or I'm at least not in the top tier of what I do. And I couldn't really feel that opportunity in Pakistan as well. I was really deep in Web3 technologies. I had a whole thing going on back there. I was actually one of the first 50 blockchain developers in Pakistan in 2017. So I was like pretty early, but there was absolutely no infrastructure around there. तब भी अगर मुझे किसी से कांटेक्ट करना होता था तो I used to find like developers in Europe or US or even India. Indian developers were also ahead of us at that time, so a lot of Indian developers also kind of helped me out in kind of figuring out the nitty-gritty details. And then I kind of realized कि यार I need to be good at this. I need to be better at this. And for that, I thought masters would be a good way to kind of break into a new ecosystem. And then I started looking at expenses. And that was when it was like really a bit of a shocker for me because if you want to go to US, either you should have like a really healthy bank balance, which I did not have, or you could go to Fulbright, but then you have to sign a bond. I think I could have gone for Fulbright as well. My GPA and everything was pretty good, but I did not want to come back. Then I started looking at Canada, similar problem. And then after like a lot of iterations, I kind of fit into Germany. And then I saw that TU universities and the 9 technical universities of Germany, they're also not that bad. And in fact, I actually found a really good program in TU Dresden, which was about distributed systems engineering. So that was like a very specific program for around distributed technologies and blockchain. So I thought, okay, this could be a good compromise. And even though I got admission into UM and LMU and all of these top tier universities as well, I took the unpopular decision and I went to TU Dresden.
TU Dresden is also TU9, correct? It's
Yes,
also one
it
of the
is
top. Yeah.
TU9, but then whenever I tell someone that I left TUM for TU Dresden,
Yeah, it's
yeah, they feel like why did you do that? But
yeah.
it just felt more aligned to what I actually wanted to do.
Yeah, that's great. I think just for the audience, TU9 are the top technical universities of Germany. इसमें TUM जो कि हिरा मेंशन करी है, टेक्निकल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ म्यूनिक, टर्म भी इसको कहते हैं. It's I think one of the best universities not just in Germany or Europe but in the world. तो
Yeah.
अगर वहां से एक्सेप्टेंस आती है तो इट्स अ बिग थिंग. इट्स नॉट दैट कि कोई नॉर्मल बात है. और टीयू ड्रेसडन जहाँ से आपने पढ़ा है वो खुद बहुत बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है. इटसेल्फ इज वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट इन जर्मनी इफ नॉट द वर्ल्ड. 7 years down the road आपने डिसीजन लिया कि इस तरह करना है, मैंने यूएस वगैरह नहीं जाना. डू यू थिंक यू मेड अ गुड कॉल 7 years ago?
I think this is a question that I ask myself a lot as well. Especially now that I have a daughter of my own, I sometimes think whether I did the right decision in trying to put the foundation of the new generation of my whole entire family in Germany, whether that was a good decision or not. And the answer is mixed because in some ways I think Germany was the best thing that happened to me, and in some ways I felt like, why am I even here? So let me explain. There are some things that are really, really good in Germany. For example, मेरा जो background था ना, that was from NUST. Pakistan में I went to NUST and then I did a job and I was doing freelancing. I set up a freelancing business on the side in Web3. So I was a very workaholic kind of person. And somehow over the years, I developed this thing that I could not sit still. Like I 24/7, I felt like the need that I had to do something. And that helped me, of course, in the early career. That those kind of people seem super energetic and super, they are saying yes to every project and leading everything. And I think that Germany gave me a very different perspective on what productivity means. And I am thankful for that because Germany may a lot of people say that there is a lot of work-life balance and there's they ask
Money
you to
isn't
take care of
everything.
yourself.
Money
Yeah,
isn't
money
everything.
isn't everything and all of that, and it looks good on paper, but what does it actually mean? I have lived that, and I think the best gift that Germany gave to me was making me feel so secure that even when I'm not doing anything, I'm still worthy as an individual. And if you have grown up, if you're like me, I think there are many people in Pakistan that have grown up in this hyper competitive, hyper productive environment, and somehow that basic feeling is snatched from us. And Germany kind of made me reclaim that. And it's not like I work any less now. This was something really good. But then, what's the side effect? Everything has a side effect. The side effect is that if you get that thing too much on yourself, you start losing your ambition, which is also something that takes a lot of time to develop. I'm going to say another unpopular thing, but at the end of the day, all human beings are a product and you need to be better at what you're doing. That sort of ambition, I think, is important, but I think Germany kind of drains that down, it tones it down. So even if you're a super ambitious person and you come to Germany, after a few years, you might not feel the same way. So that's the side
Yeah,
effect.
I agree. I agree because I think, like you said, both countries or both work cultures, if you only talk about work culture, are very different. पाकिस्तान में मेरे ख्याल से क्योंकि हमारा अमेरिकन कल्चर है, अमेरिकन इन्फ्लुएंस काफ़ी है,
Yes.
बिकॉज हमारे सॉफ्टवेयर हाउसेज या हमारे जो भी कंपनीज हैं, दे आर मोर ऑफ सर्विस बेस्ड कंपनीज एंड नॉट प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड. तो सर्विस बेस्ड
Yeah.
में क्योंकि हम बहुत ही हाई कम्पिटिटिव और जस्ट गो फॉर इट, ओवर टाइम करना है, सैटरडेज इवन संडेज वी आर वर्किंग, एंड दैट इज अनथॉट ऑफ, दैट्स अनबिलीवेबल कि यहाँ पर कोई सोचेगा कि संडे को कोई इंसान काम करे. बट लाइक यू सेड, आई थिंक most important is to find a balance. Sometimes you have to work more,
Yes.
sometimes you have to rest more. There is no perfect sweet
Yes.
spot. यार मैंने दिन में सिर्फ 10 घंटे काम किया करना है या 8 घंटे काम करना है. कभी आपको शायद 10 घंटे करना पड़े, कभी आपको शायद 6 करना पड़े. तो यू हैव टू मेक पीस विद इट. कमिंग बैक टू आवर टॉपिक, क्या हम जर्मनी आए, एक स्टूडेंट है आप जैसे, ब्राइट स्टूडेंट है कमिंग फ्रॉम द सब कॉन्टिनेंट, यू हैव कम टू जर्मनी, यू हैव डन योर मास्टर्स, अब आप जॉब ढूंढ रहे हैं. अब आपको
Hmm.
ऑफ कोर्स पाकिस्तान में जैसे भी हमने अभी डिस्कस किया कि वहाँ थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है, डिफरेंट वर्किंग कल्चर है, डिफरेंट माइंडसेट को अप्रिसिएशन मिलती है, यहाँ पर डिफरेंट चीज़ों को अप्रिसिएशन मिलती है. सो हाउ डिफिकल्ट वाज इट फॉर यू टू get into the job market after your masters? You had some experience from Pakistan as well.
Hmm. Interesting
Or
question.
yeah, basically, like, to put it in simple words, okay, how difficult or easy was it for you to get your first job after your masters?
Okay. In that sense, I think I was very, very lucky, but also I came prepared. So, and times were different. So I think it's easy to see in retrospective and say that, it was all because of me and because I was prepared, because there's always an element of luck and market timings and the bigger macroeconomic factors at play. I came in 2018. Those were good times in Germany. I would say things have changed since then. But I also came prepared in the sense that I mentioned that I came to TU Dresden, and I had already shortlisted a few companies that were starting their blockchain departments. And one of those companies was Deutsche Telekom. And I knew there was this one Pakistani guy that was also working there as a student. So when I reached in TU Dresden, I asked around where that guy is. I found that person, and I asked him to forward my CV in that department, which was just starting out, and they were the only department in Deutsche Telekom in the entire world that was working on Web3. So they got my CV from a warm connection. Warm connections do matter. It always matter everywhere, even when we think that they don't, they do. So they saw the CV, and the CV was good because I already had a lot of completed projects from my freelancing time in Pakistan. So they called us on the interview, and yeah, we got in. And I say we because I was not alone. I actually didn't come here alone. I came here with my husband. He was the freelancing business that we had. Both of us were doing that. And when we came here, we went together to the interview, and we both got in. And then when they called us, they called both of us in, and they asked us that, did you guys do these projects together? Was this like your joint freelancing account? And I said, yes, this was like a joint freelancing account. So they said, okay, this is a problem. How would you solve it? And then they didn't even like evaluate us individually. They just evaluated us kind of like a team. We worked for a long time, and afterwards as students. Then we both later got hired as full-time employees in Deutsche Telekom, and then we worked sometimes in the same project, sometimes in different projects. So it was like a mix, but it has never been a problem. which is kind of interesting.
दो चीजें मैंने स्पेशली नोट डाउन की हैं फ्रॉम दिस आंसर जो मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी हैं कि वन यू केम प्रिपेयर्ड आई गेट इट कि मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन डिफरेंट थी उस टाइम टाइम्स वर डिफरेंट एआई और कोविड का डेडली कॉम्बिनेशन इकट्ठे नहीं आया हुआ था आई गेट इट लेकिन मेरे ख्याल से आई I as an individual can only focus on the things that I have under control. अब
Yes.
अगर मैं पॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन या मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन या कोविड या एआई को अगर मैं नहीं इसकी जो डिसरप्शन है मार्केट में वो नहीं कंट्रोल कर सकता तो मैं सिर्फ अपनी प्रिपरेशन पे काम करूँ. आपने यू केम
Yes.
प्रिपेयर्ड पाकिस्तान से आप आए आपने कंपनी शॉर्टलिस्ट की हुई थी तो जितनी आप
Yes.
प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हैं जितनी आप अलाउ कर सकते हैं आप कंपनी शॉर्टलिस्ट कर सकते हैं. पाकिस्तान से कुछ लोग ऑलरेडी जॉब्स पे एप्लीकेशन डालकर आते हैं बिफोर इवन फ्लाइंग टू जर्मनी व्हिच इज वेरी कूल.
Yes.
आई थिंक यू गेट मोर एक्सपोजर अर्ली ऑन व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यूजुअली लोग जर्मनी आए मास्टर्स किया बहुत अच्छी बात है बहुत अच्छे से आपने मास्टर्स किया बहुत टॉप यूनिवर्सिटी से मास्टर्स किया आपने जॉब भी सिक्योर कर ली आपने अच्छी जॉब सिक्योर की. आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इफ यू वर वर्किंग विद डॉयचे टेलीकॉम आप you would be earning a good amount of salary. It's not a small
Yeah.
company. It's one of the biggest in Germany. उसके बाद what pushed you कि नहीं मैंने भी और कुछ करना है. It's not just कि मैंने corporate ladder पे climb करना है. I want to build my own ladder. What motivated you for that?
I think there were many small factors that contributed to it. First of all, I always wanted to do a startup. I tried a few attempts before as well, even when I was in Pakistan, and I thought that once somewhere like I have like a safety net, I'll retry it or try it again. And the second thing is that I never really stopped expanding my horizons. I think that is the deadliest thing that you can do. Like even after coming from Pakistan, I did my masters, I did my job, and then even in job, I was like constantly picking up bigger projects. And so it happened that seeing my kind of initiative, I was actually given a very big project inside Deutsche Telekom, and I was a lead architect of that. And they gave me a budget of around like a million euros, and I had to bootstrap like a full team from scratch. So I hired some external people, I hired some internal people, I got some jobs opened, and it was like a whole team that I prepared. But that project was very, very difficult, very, very technical, and I also faced a lot of you could say backlash, or because like I was the only woman on the team, I was the youngest in the team, and I was an expat. And that is not a good combination if you're
And you were
actually
leading the
leading a
project.
project.
Yes, that
Yes.
was as you were leading the project.
Yes. So of course, there are good and bad people everywhere. There were many, many good people, good friends, good colleagues that I found along the way. But there was also a lot of backlash that also happened afterwards. And then I went to a conference, and because like I was leading this project, so they also kind of sent me on different conferences. And I went to a conference in Miami. And in that conference, I saw a lot of startups that were working on really cool, important problems that need to be solved. And at that point, I realized that when you're working in a corporate, you're working on, okay, very big things, but most of the times the things that you're doing are motivated by how big of the money that you can make, not always about what's the right thing to make or what the world needs. And it also gets boring after a little while because the problems that you're working on are very enterprise scale and not something that can always touch like real people. And when I met all these startup founders, that itch to do my own thing and to create my own ladder, and especially in a time when I was also kind of frustrated about everything that was happening around me and all the questions that were being asked, because I'm a woman from Southeast Asia trying to lead a big project. It all kind of like pushed me into this direction that why don't I do something of my own? So there's no like big awakening that happened. I think it was a lot of backlog that kind of pushed me into this direction. And but I also had the confidence after leading this project. I felt like I could do it if I want to. For the first time, I felt like, not only I have an opportunity, but I also have the skills to start something like this. So in that way, saying yes to bigger responsibility helped me. And that's when I thought, okay, I'm going to do something of my own.
And one more thing, यहाँ पर मैं एक point add करना चाहूँगा. आपने मियामी का mention किया that you went there, you saw a lot of people doing cool stuff, and you were motivated or at least inspired by them. So I think it also comes down to the people that you surround with or your surroundings in
Yes.
general. अगर
Yes.
आप हाईली मोटिवेटेड पॉजिटिव एनर्जी वाले लोगों के साथ या उस एनवायरनमेंट में अपना टाइम गुजारेंगे जहाँ पर आपको पॉसिबिलिटी नजर आती है, जहाँ पर आपको ग्रोथ नजर आती है, चाहे वो करियर में हो, पर्सनल लाइफ में हो, फाइनेंसेस में हो, हेल्थ में हो, किसी भी डायमेंशन में हो, तो जब आप अपने आप को पॉजिटिव लोगों में या ग्रोथ माइंडसेट या ग्रोथ के लिए एनवायरनमेंट में अपने आप को पुट करते हैं या वहां अपने आप को लेकर जाते हैं, willingly or unwillingly, it works
Yes,
in
I
you.
think exposure matters a lot. Seeing different kind of areas, opportunities matters a lot, and that only expands your horizons. You see what's possible, and then सबसे बड़ी बात है कि when you see people like you doing good stuff, doing like breaking boundaries, picking on big challenges, there's something that clicks in your mind that I can also do this. If this person can do this, then I can also do this. And that is why it's so important, and that is why I'm very vocal about my journey as well.
मैं आना चाहता हूँ एग्जैक्टली प्लूरैलिटी पे कि
Yeah.
प्लूरैलिटी क्या है और हाउ डिड द आइडिया कम अबाउट, वाज इट योर ओन आइडिया?
So
आई एम सॉरी, मैं
basically,
आपको कट कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, आई एम
yeah,
सॉरी, जस्ट मैंने मेंशन करना छोड़ मिस कर दिया कि प्लूरैलिटी इज योर स्टार्टअप, इट्स द
yes,
कंपनी दैट फाउंड योरसेल्फ. तो
yeah,
इससे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है कि व्हाट इज प्लूरैलिटी, बिकॉज़ आई नो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू मेक इट क्लियर फॉर द ऑडियंस हु इज वाचिंग दिस.
yes, yes. Yeah, so Plurality Network is the company that I co-founded with two other co-founders. And the bigger idea is that, I already told that my background has been for the past 6, 7 years. I've worked extensively in not only Web3 or decentralized technologies, and not just the crypto or financial part of it, but also like as the core technology. And blockchain has a lot of other use cases as well, like data ownership and portability. Europe is working a lot on this area. Europe has been a major proponent of data privacy and data sovereignty.
Especially
And
Germany, not just Europe,
yes, especially
especially.
Germany. And I somehow happen to be in the mid of all of it. So I've worked on government projects as well, and all of like I've written publications, I've written researches on this. All of us got access to ChatGPT, I think, sometime in the start of last year. There are two interesting things that are happening. And you can, maybe think about how you use ChatGPT. The first thing is that people are talking and sharing a lot of intimate details with when they talk to chat agents. AI companionship has grown over 525% in the last 1 year, which is like the most craziest growth that has been in any technical sector in the past 10 years. And the second thing is that there are all these different AI agents that are coming up, which is good. So we have now Claude and Grok and Gemini and Perplexity and you name it. And these are good for different things. But you cannot really take your data from one agent to another. If you have a ChatGPT project, you're kind of stuck on ChatGPT. If you really want to go to Claude, you'll have to enter your data, your context over and over again. If you want to go to Gemini, then you do it again. If you want to go to Perplexity, you do it again. So this is like it's difficult for the end user to take their data, their knowledge, their ongoing projects with them when they move between agents, just like in platforms. So the same thing that we saw happening with social media platforms, now the same kind of data silos, but on a much bigger scale, are being created in AI agents. But this time, I think we have an opportunity. We have a window of opportunity to create a difference here, to bring back the original principles of the internet, of an open, portable data that is owned by the user. And that is what we are building at Plurality. We are building a portable user-owned memory layer for AI agents. And for this, we have created a browser extension, which we call AI Context Flow. I'm going to provide you the link with as well. And this is like what we're doing. This also has like a lot of other incentives and benefits as well. So not only is it like a portable memory layer, but it rewrites your prompts, auto optimizes them. It reduces the problem of context rot, which is like why AI agents start hallucinating. So that is also reduced with our extension. So there are a lot of other advantages as well.
Okay, perfect. So to summarize from what you've mentioned, दो चीज़ें हैं जो प्लूरैलिटी इस्तेमाल करने से आपकी आसान हो जाएंगी. पहला तो ये कि आपको ओनरशिप मिलेगी अपने डेटा की और सेफ फॉर्म में डेटा ट्रांसफर होगा फ्रॉम यू टू एआई. एक बीच में कोई
Yes.
सेफ्टी नेट है, एक
Hmm.
प्लूरैलिटी बैठा हुआ है.
Yes.
दूसरी बात ये है कि जब मैं चैट जीपीटी पे जा रहा हूँ, मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ कि आई डोंट नो हाउ टू राइट अ फॉर लूप इन पाइथन, मैं वहां सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, आई आस्क 10 क्वेश्चंस, आई स्टिल डोंट गेट इट. समटाइम्स मुझे लग रहा है कि अभी तक समझ नहीं आ रही, आई थिंक आई शुड ट्राई क्लॉड. मैं क्लॉड पे
Yeah.
जा रहा हूँ. अब व्हाटएवर आई आस्क्ड चैट जीपीटी, आई हैव टू आस्क क्लॉड अगेन फ्रॉम स्क्रैच
Yes. Yes.
विदाउट प्लूरैलिटी फॉर श्योर.
Without
लेकिन
plurality,
प्लुरैलिटी
yes.
अब क्या कर रहे हैं कि अब मेरा जो कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, अब एक लेयर बन गई है सारे एलएलएम्स के ऊपर कि वो मेरी मेन डेटा स्टोरेज है, एक कॉमन
Yes,
कैश में मेमोरी है और उसके बाद वो
yes.
मैं कहीं पर भी यूज़ कर सकता हूँ।
Kind of like
तो
a bridge,
आप
something that is bridging the different ecosystems.
दैट्स वेरी नाइस बिकॉज़ मैं अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस में भी ऐसा अक्सर होता है कि इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू डू समथिंग विद एन एलएलएम एंड आफ्टर 3 to 4 ट्राइज यू गेट इट कि दिस एलएलएम इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेल फॉर व्हाटएवर एक्स वाई जी रीजन, आई थिंक आई शुड ट्राई अनदर वन। तो आप कभी
Yes,
दूसरे मॉडल पे जाते हैं, यू गेट बेटर रिजल्ट्स, कभी क्लाउड से बेहतर आ जाते हैं, कभी डीप सीक से फॉर एग्जांपल बेहतर आ जाते हैं, इट डिपेंड्स।
yes.
वहां पर आप कॉन्टेक्स्ट नहीं देना, आप सिर्फ ये ब्राउजर एक्सटेंशन इस्तेमाल करें।
यस एग्जैक्टली। सो आप सिर्फ किसी भी दूसरे उस पे जाओ, आप अपना कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो है ना वो ड्रॉप डाउन से आप सिलेक्ट करो। लेट्स से जो आपका कोडिंग कॉन्टेक्स्ट चल रहा है या आपका क्रिएटिव राइटिंग का कॉन्टेक्स्ट चल रहा है, आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट मेमोरी बकेट्स बना सकते हो फॉर योर डिफरेंट ऑन गोइंग प्रोजेक्ट्स। यू डोंट हैव टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट यू आस्क्ड, यू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द 11th क्वेश्चन। आप वो लिखो, यू प्रेस कंट्रोल आई, दैट्स लाइक अ शॉर्टकट दैट वी हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड। यू जस्ट प्रेस कंट्रोल आई and it's going to auto optimize your query into a proper prompt, क्योंकि prompt engineering भी हमने उसमें डाली हुई है। उस वो पूरा जो है ना आपकी एक जो वेग क्यूरी है ना उसको एक प्रॉपर prompt में कन्वर्ट करेगा, जिससे ऑलरेडी आपको बेहतर रिजल्ट्स मिल रहे होंगे। और साथ में वो सारा रेलेवेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो आपकी पिछली कॉन्वर्सेशन से या मे बी आपने कुछ डेटा अपलोड किया होगा, कोई फाइल्स अपलोड की होंगी, वहां से जो भी रेलेवेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट होगा ना वो सारा सर्च करके वो भी साथ अटैच कर देगा। और इससे जो है ना जब आप वो क्यूरी आप पूछोगे तो आपको जो रिस्पॉन्सेज हैं वो बहुत बेहतर मिलेंगे, हेलोसिनेशंस कम होंगी, आपके टोकन्स कम यूज होंगे और आपको कंटिन्यूटी मिलेगी। आपको वो पूरा 10-15 मिनट की एफर्ट दोबारा करने की जरूरत नहीं है। द एक्सटेंशन विल डू इट फॉर यू।
इसका फॉर श्योर लिंक भी हम नीचे शेयर कर देंगे, मैं आपका लिंक्डइन नीचे शेयर कर दूंगा कि अगर किसी ने कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है, समवन वांट्स टू नो कि इस प्रोडक्ट को लेके आप कहाँ जाना चाहते हैं या व्हाटएवर देयर आर, इफ यू वांट टू कनेक्ट विद
यस
हिरा, आई विल मेंशन हर लिंक्डइन और हर क्रेडेंशियल्स डाउन बिलो। ये मैं थोड़ा सा क्योंकि जर्मन ब्यूरोक्रेसी पे मैं थोड़ा आना चाहता हूँ बिकॉज जर्मन ब्यूरोक्रेसी इज वेरी नोटोरियस, बहुत फेमस है कि दे टेक्स टाइम, पेपर वर्क एंड एवरीथिंग। किस तरह की जर्नी थी आपकी फ्रॉम आइडिया टू एन एक्चुअल कंपनी, रजिस्टर्ड कंपनी इन जर्मनी?
आई थिंक मेरी अगेन यहाँ पे भी देयर आर सम अनकन्वेंशनल डिसीजंस दैट आई टुक। और बेसिकली हमारे साथ ऐसा हुआ कि we were working on this idea, an earlier version of this idea, and we went to several hackathons, and we won several of those hackathons. And afterwards, an investor contacted us. We had a meeting, and suddenly they said that you can have a small angel check, so you can build this out, build out the prototype. And we were very excited, but then they asked, okay, but what's your registered entity? And we were like, oh, we don't have one. And that is when we, for the first time, they said, okay, so we have the money, we have the investor, and now we do not want this investor to run away because, like, we 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 have no idea how to register
You
an
guys
entity.
registered.
Yes, we were not registered. And that's when we frantically started to search, like, okay, what do we do now? We started looking into the different options. And then we realized, like, registering something in Germany as a private limited entity would take a lot of time and a lot of effort, because one of my co-founders was at that time in China. And then there were like two options. Either we would have wanted to like get a power of attorney and get a lawyer that would represent him in the court, or maybe we fly him from China to here. It was like too much complication, so we just went and registered an entity in UK.
Oh, okay. So registered in
Okay.
UK right now?
Yes, so we registered in UK, and yeah, because we wanted to get something like really done really quickly. And in UK, it took us like 3 working days to get it done.
Yeah. That I know. That the UK is super fast when it comes to registering companies.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And but caveat. Some caveats are that there are some grants or some opportunities that you only get from Germany, from like the German government, when you are registered in Germany, which we kind of couldn't really get advantage of. But this is something that we learned later on.
So आपके पास आइडिया था, आपने उस आइडिया को टेस्ट किया हैकाथॉन्स में, क्योंकि जिस इंसान से बात करेंगे उसके पास 10 प्रोडक्ट आइडियाज। तो ऐसा नहीं है
Yes.
कि पीपल लाइक आइडियाज, लेकिन जो ये वाला पार्ट है हैकाथॉन में जाना, टेस्ट करना, ये दिस इज समथिंग जो कि वेग या ग्रे एरिया में रहता है, समझ नहीं आती कि यार आइडिया से हमने प्रोडक्ट पे कैसे जाना। सो फॉर यू इट वाज एन आइडिया, देन यू वांटेड टू टेस्ट इन द रियल वर्ल्ड, एंड फॉर दैट आप हैकाथॉन्स में गए, यू वन अ कपल, आपने वहां से ये भी रियलाइज कर लिया कि ठीक है, ये प्रोडक्ट जो है ये सिर्फ नॉर्मल छोटा सा रैंडम आइडिया नहीं है, इट इज एक्चुअली समथिंग जो कि जिसको रिकग्निशन भी मिल रही है। वहां से
हम्म।
इन्वेस्टर ने खुद आपको अप्रोच किया, करेक्ट?
यस, 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 इन्वेस्टर ने खुद
यूजुअली इट्स
अप्रोच किया। Usually, and it was like, of course, like the stars aligned, because like sometimes you get lucky once and then you don't get lucky twice. That also happens. But I would just like try to like add a caveat here. Hackathons is not validation. This is a hard learned lesson that I learned, and I want to like everyone who's seeing this. Hackathons are not validation. Social media likes are not validation. People around you who are saying that this is a good idea is not validation. So how do you actually do validation? Two things. The most short way of doing validation is if somebody pays for a very small, hacky workaround solution for what you intend to build. If somebody is already paying you, even when you don't have like a nice product, you already have validation. That's the best way to get validation. Get money out of somebody's pocket. If, for example, for whatever reason you don't want to do it, then the second step is make a prototype and ask people to download and use it. This is the first step where you will not only get very, very frustrated, but you will also learn a lot. If people are willing to go through hoops for your product, even when it's clunky, even when it has bugs, and they're still using it, that's the validation that you're looking for. With the recent AI explosion, AI boom that has happened, the cost of building MVPs has also gone down by a lot. You can vibe code your way into something that looks like a real product pretty quickly in a couple of weeks, and then you can actually test it out. And in this day and age, if you go to an investor and you have no MVP, you just have a paper napkin idea, nobody's going to listen to you. So times have changed and you have to keep up. If you're thinking about like creating a product, vibe code something, ask people to test it out and use it regularly. If they're doing that, you have your first step of validation. If they're already paying for it, that's a really strong validation. So that's like the second and the best form of validation, that somebody's paying for it. Anything less than that, not gonna cut it.
You get some finances, you get some money from an investor or someone who likes the product, and working on your MVP. फॉर मी, जब मैंने कहा कि हैकाथॉन आर गुड, मतलब मेरे ख्याल से ये दोनों प्रॉब्लम्स हैकाथॉन सॉल्व करती है किसी हद तक। कम से कम जो
Hmm.
आपके जहन में आइडिया है, यू विल बी पुश्ड, क्योंकि हैकाथॉन में आप आइडिया नहीं प्रेजेंट कर सकते, यू हैव टू प्रेजेंट समथिंग कि ये हमने
Yes.
चीज प्रेजेंट की है।
हाँ.
तो अभी जैसे मैंने कहा कि प्रोडक्ट आइडिया जहन में होना इज वन थिंग, बट एक्चुअली वर्किंग प्रोटोटाइप होना, ठीक है, इसमें 1000 बग्स हैं, यूआई बहुत बुरा है, यूएक्स बहुत बुरा है, दैट्स ओके, लेकिन जो कोर या सब्सटेंस है, अगर वो आपके पास मौजूद है, तो दैट्स द स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट। आइडिया स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट नहीं है, स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट आपका वो है कि जो आप समझ लें कि अब आपने एक एमवीपी बनाया।
If you have some time, I'd like to like go into a little bit more detail into it, because this can actually save people months of their time. So there are a
Yes,
couple of
please.
more things. There are a couple of more things that you need to think about. Two things: distribution and whether your product is a vitamin or a painkiller. What do I mean by a vitamin or a painkiller? So vitamins आप तब खाते हो जब आपको that's preventative, एंड पेन किलर आप तब खाते हो जब आपकी जो है ना तकलीफ एक सर्टन पॉइंट से बढ़ चुकी है. एंड नाउ इवन इफ somebody is selling you a suboptimal solution for that, but that's
We'll buy it.
going to like reduce your pain by even 20-30%, you would be willing to pay 10 times the cost of what you would pay for a perfectly created vitamin. It's a very competitive market out there. People are bombarded with products every day, and it is very difficult to get attention. And you need to make sure that what you're working on for months or even years of your life, it needs to be a painkiller, not a vitamin. Always think of it like this. Is it a nice to have or is it a must have? Is it something that people are dying for and they will even use a crappy product for this? Or is it something like you really need to convince them, really need to have a really polished product, and then only they might come? That's a very, very uphill battle. Don't waste your time for vitamins. The second thing is
एलेक्स,
distribution. Yeah, yeah.
ये
Sorry?
प्लीज, मैं एलेक्स हरमोजी मेरे जहन में आए जब आपने बताया, ही टॉक्स अ लॉट अबाउट दिस, कि किस तरह आपने प्रोडक्ट को, ये प्रोडक्ट चूज करने के टाइम पे आपने क्या चीज सोचनी है, और ये विटामिन और पेन किलर वाला आइडिया, इट्स परफेक्टली मेरे ख्याल से कि आप जो भी प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं, इट शुड बी अ नो ब्रेनर फॉर योर कंज्यूमर. इट शुड बी नो ब्रेनर कि
Yes,
राइट नाउ आई एम सिक, आई फील पेन. अगर सब ऑप्टिमल है, यूआई थोड़ा बुरा है, जायके में बुरी है दवाई, आई डोंट केयर, आई वांट इट राइट. तो
yes,
इस माइंडसेट से आपने प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड करना है, या आपके पास सिर्फ एक वंडरफुल ब्यूटीफुल प्रोडक्ट टू शो की बजाय आपने रियल पेन पॉइंट सॉल्व करना है.
exactly. And the second thing is distribution. Distribution is the amount of high quality followers that you have on LinkedIn, amount of people who listen to your podcast. If you have a YouTube channel, that's distribution. So let's say you have a product idea. Don't keep it in your head. Just directly post it on LinkedIn. This is what I'm thinking about building. What do you think? Go to Reddit. Have discussions on Reddit communities. Have discussions on LinkedIn. Have discussions on Twitter. Build in public. And even before you have the product, try to see who your early users would be, if it's resonating or not. And this is something that takes years. Build distribution first, and then build whatever the heck you want to build.
इसके में ब्यूटीफुल बात ये है कि जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन आपने कहा, इसको मेरे ख्याल से अनदर वे टू पुट इट वुड बी पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग, क्योंकि पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग इज अ
Yes.
मोर फेमस वर्ड दीस डेज.
Let me give you an example. Since this is an AI channel, there is a very famous product that came out from India 1 or 2 months ago. It was called Fiesta, and this was marketed by Dhruv Rathi. He's a famous influencer. He's a famous tech influencer, and even though his product was, in my opinion, suboptimal, it had no specific
A lot of
features.
backlash from social media. A lot of backlash.
Yes, even the way that he technically presented the solution was incorrect. So there were technical flaws. The product was just like any other agent aggregator product.
Rapper.
No, yeah, really
Yes.
no moat, I would say. But what was the moat? If the moat was not technical, then what was the moat? The moat was Dhruv Rathi himself and his following, the distribution that he had.
The trust that he
And
had created.
exactly, and I think like in this agent time, every startup team should have an influencer on board.
For your team, that was not planned, but now that we've talked about it, from your team, do you already have someone, or would you yourself call as the influencer?
We didn't have anyone on the team. We were a purely technical team, but I think I kind of had to take over that role because I always enjoyed being in public. I always enjoyed talking in public. I had absolutely no problems in posting to LinkedIn or to Twitter about my thoughts. I used to do that even before I ever thought of like this product or starting this company because I just like to express myself. I'm an extrovert by nature. So when this time came and we realized that, okay, we need what we call a person that constantly babbles about your product everywhere they go. The natural fit was me, and everyone said that she needs to be that person. So
and you're doing it really well, I must admit. And I've seen your LinkedIn, and when people would go to your LinkedIn, they would know it's not just babbling; it's valuable information from your experience, from your international experience in Germany, in Pakistan, from international companies, and that's valuable for people who want to be like you, या जो लोग इस जिंदगी में वो काम करना चाहते हैं जो आपने अचीव किया है. Quickly, मैं बहुत रैपिड फायर आपसे AI के कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछना चाहता हूँ डायरेक्टली बिफोर वी रैप अप आवर पॉडकास्ट. इट हैज बीन अ वंडरफुल टाइम टॉकिंग टू यू. सबसे पहले तो क्योंकि AI हाइप बहुत है आजकल, जो आप उठाएं, आपका फोन, आपका कपड़े, अलमारी, हर चीज, एवरीथिंग हैज AI इंस्टॉल्ड इन इट राइट नाउ. आपको सबसे ज्यादा क्या AI के एक्साइटिंग टॉपिक लगता है कि दिस इज द मोस्ट एक्साइटिंग फीचर ऑफ AI फॉर यू पर्सनली,
most
फॉर हिरा
exciting
सिद्दीकी
feature.
पर्सनली, मोस्ट एक्साइटिंग?
मुझे पर्सनली AI मेमोरी का एरिया बहुत interesting लगता है because that's an area that's very underdeveloped. LLMs have no memory of their own, and right now everyone is like patching together, including us, patching together different band-aid solutions for memory. But I think there is a lot of room to play here because memories do not. When we say memory, we are trying to mimic how human memories work. It's like a database right now, but it shouldn't be like that. Memories do not work like databases. Memories have weightages in them and recency in them. So not going to go into details, but AI memory is an area that really interests me.
Sure. अभी recently prompt engineering से एक नई context engineering term coin हुई है few months ago, और I
Yes.
think exactly context engineering is what you've mentioned, और उसमें बहुत potential है growth, बहुत
Exactly. So exactly. So for people who want to learn more about prompt and context engineering, let me just do like a shameless plug here. I am essentially doing context and prompt engineering workshops in different universities in Pakistan. I did one in Kazakhstan last week. Also, I'm doing it in offices, and I'm also going to do a webinar talking about this exact thing, like how to do proper prompt engineering, what is context engineering, how can you do that. So if you're interested in it, come to my LinkedIn. You'll see the webinar that's going to happen in a week. And if you want me to do this workshop in your university or something, I'd also be up for it.
For sure,
Okay.
like that's one of the benefits of connecting with people like you, motivated people who are actually doing AI stuff, not just talking about it. उनसे कनेक्ट करने का ये फायदा कि ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटीज, ऐसी लर्निंग ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज दे कीप कमिंग योर वे एंड यू कैन टेक बेनिफिट. आपने क्विकली मुझे एक टूल या कॉन्सेप्ट बताना है जो आपको लगता है कि इट इज हियर टू स्टे. मतलब जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल रैग है, एमसीपी है, ए2 है, हजार न्यू टूल्स और कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, और कोई ऐसा टूल आपके ख्याल से फ्रॉम योर पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस जो आपको लगता है कि इट्स अ लिटिल ओवर हाइप्ड. क्योंकि अभी हमने देखा पीछे लवेबल या ऐसे बेस 44 बोल्ट ऐसी बहुत सारी एप्स थी. दे वर वन ऑफ द बेस्ट कंपनीज इन द वर्ल्ड, एटलीस्ट उनकी वैल्यूएशन, उनकी ग्रोथ. बट पास्ट 5 to 6 months में अगर आप उनकी ट्रेजेक्टरी देखें तो इट्स डाउन हिल मोर और लेस, जो वाइब
Yes.
कोडिंग एप्स. तो आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट दे आर बैड एप्स और यू शुड नॉट यूज देम, लेकिन कुछ ऐसी चीजें होंगी जो कि मेरे ख्याल से दे विल स्टे, टूल्स, कॉन्सेप्ट्स, और कुछ चीजें वुड फेड आउट आफ्टर द हाइप सेटल्स. तो आपके ख्याल से वो क्या चीज है?
I think MCP is definitely something that is here to stay because you need, if you're, जब हम सोचते हैं ना about an AI world, तो we think about tasks getting done on their own, खुद ही सब कुछ हो जाएगा. But ये खुद ही सब कुछ जो हो जाएगा ना, इसके लिए there needs to be multiple agents that work together, multiple data sources that work together, and I think MCP so far by far has the best potential to be that
Connected.
that those pipelines that connect everything together. So MCP is definitely something that's a foundational tech, something that's here to stay. Regarding what's I feel like is not here to stay, it's not a tool, but it's more like a set of area that people are trying to do, and that is sales AI sales representatives. Oh my God, I hate them, and I don't think they work at all. And a lot of agencies are charging an exorbitant amount of money from a lot of people right now, from a lot of like businesses that are not very tech centric, and they're like, we are going to automate your inbounds, and we are going to like book meetings for you, and we will get you new customers while you're sleeping. I think we are far from that. We might get there in like 5 years, but right now, if you've ever gotten some of those messages, you will realize how icky that feels, and that is not how is done. So I think
True.
sales representatives,
Sales are
I
more
don't
of
think
an
that.
emotional thing, are more of an
Yes,
emotional, because for a decision it has to have some sort of emotion involved. Or
yes,
emotion AI ke saath right now, I think it's a bit far fetched for now. So I
yes,
totally agree. I think
yes.
that's a very good point. For my final question for this podcast, and for me it is a very important. I'm pretty sure for you it's also very important. Where do you see Plurality, your own brand or your own company, in 5 years?
I think if we are the default bridge between ecosystems and we have made the data privacy part even 30 to 40% better than how it is right now, I think I'd take that as a win. Because like right now, I don't think there are maybe a total of 4 companies in the world that are working on the problem that we are working, but I believe that it's a very, very important work that needs to be done. So in 5 years, we want to be the default bridge between ecosystems, a way for people to have more control over their data and how that data is being used across agents.
दैट्स अ वेरी नाइस वे टू पुट इट. और इंटरेस्टिंग बात ये कि राइट नाउ एआई की वजह से जो डेटा प्राइवेसी या सिक्योरिटी है वो और लूज हो रही है, या मेरे ख्याल से और ज्यादा उसमें प्रॉब्लम बढ़ रही है कि ज्यादा आपका कंट्रोल खत्म हो रहा है. एंड यू आर वन ऑफ दोज कंपनीज जो कि इसके अगेंस्ट, यू आर स्विमिंग अगेंस्ट द टाइड बेसिक. आप और पुश कर रहे हैं कि हमें डेटा सिक्योर चाहिए, और ड्यूरिंग द टाइम्स जब डेटा की एक्सेस या प्राइवेसी जो है वो इससे ज्यादा बुरी मेरे ख्याल हिस्ट्री में कभी नहीं थी जितनी आज है.
Yes.
आई थिंक दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. बहुत लंबा और बहुत अच्छा सेशन था हिरा आपके साथ. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम. लाइक आई सेड, यू आर अ बिजी पर्सन. थैंक यू फॉर टेकिंग योर टाइम. इट वाज अ लवली सेशन. मैं अगेन कह रहा हूँ कि नीचे जो Plurality से related information है, Hira की LinkedIn है, I'll mention that in the description. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and that's all for today. See you in the next one.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.